Hello everyone. This is an unboxing video for something I just recently ordered in the mail called the Action Bible. And it's going to be an unboxing video. And first the Action Bible is basically the Bible as a graphic novel marketed for children. And I'll get to that in just a bit, but first I'm going to quickly talk about the Bible. Something about this book, the Bible, is it's a big, complex book. It's like the most read, the most revered book in our human culture. It's probably the most written about book. And it's a big, complex book. Something my pastor commented on about the Bible is that when reading it, it's good to be reading a study Bible because, it's a big, complex book. When you're reading a study Bible, you also have all these annotations kind of guiding you through your reading of the Bible. And so that's something that I think is pretty cool. He seems to think it's perfectly fine just having one. I think it's great to have multiple study Bibles because they give different insights. They give different insights and different information. It's also definitely good to have books that are about the Bible and commentary about the Bible, so because it's a big, complex book. But I also think, I'll put this Bible away. I also think it's good to have books that go in sort of the opposite direction, like children's Bibles. Before I get to the Action Bible, I'm going to show a couple of children's Bibles that I grew up with. This is Tommy DePaola's Book of Bible Stories, and this was basically my intro to the Bible when I was a kid. And it's one of the things that separates this from most Bibles is, you'll see here, New International Version. Something you'll see that differentiates this one is that it uses actual excerpts from the Bible. A lot of children's Bibles are rewritten by authors or kind of paraphrased, but this one actually uses excerpts. And although something to note about this is, like the Gospel of Mark in this Bible takes about 90 minutes to read. The Gospel of Mark is only a fraction of what's in the Bible. This children's Bible takes about 90 minutes to read, so it's really extremely cut to the chase. Now, the other children's Bible I got when I was a little bit older, for me as a child, this children's Bible did not at all feel like a children's Bible. This, it felt like a Bible for adults. Like, let me find a good example here. Almost here. Perfect. Here's a good example. These illustrations do not look like illustrations for kids. They're like things pointing out certain things about the pictures. You don't get that in children's books. There are also these photographs explaining things from the time. This one also includes little verses from the Bible. And you can barely see it with this camera. And it's inverted, so it's something else. Let's go into the New Testament. Before entering into certain sections of the Bible, there are little introductions. Like here, there's a thing about Jesus of Galilee, which you can barely see. And then another couple pages on daily life in Jesus' time. It also has an introduction to the Old Testament with a map and an introduction to the New Testament with a map. So I mean, when I read this last year as an adult, I thought it was pretty cool. But now I'm gonna unbox. I've been waiting for a while for this, and the weather in Minnesota really slowed things down. I'm gonna unbox which keys here? The Action Bible. There are also a couple of other things I got in this box. What's fun is the Action Bible was like something I just kind of decided to get spur of the moment. I was like, oh, maybe get a simplified children's Bible or something with a lot of illustrations. That might be kind of a fun thing, good thing to have. And so, yeah, there have been, although it's marketed to children, there are a lot of reviews I saw from adults that said, I'm an adult and I absolutely love this. And yeah, I got some pretty cool reviews. So, let me put my keys back in my pocket. And this is something I feel is definitely worth celebrating. So I'm going to have a little bit more. Usually I use grape juice, but this time I actually decided to have real wine. Because, yeah, I've been waiting a while. So a couple of the other books I got, just The Evolution of God by Robert Wright. I read it about a year ago. I thought it was overall pretty good. And here's what I really wanted to order. 40-Day Journey with Julian of Norwich and 40-Day Journey with Maya Angelou. There's a series of these 40-Day Journey books. I got the one on Martin Luther, and I read that for Lent, and was pretty impressed. But, I mean, Martin Luther wasn't my favorite theologian. Although it was a really good introduction to Martin Luther, but yeah, he's definitely not my favorite. But here we go. Moment of Truth, the Action Bible. And it's kind of weird that this video is inverted, but I guess it gives me a good excuse to be able to show the illustrations because no copyright thing now. I mean, yeah, loopholing copyright. Yeah. But some things I saw in some of the reviews, one of the criticisms was it kind of adds and kind of plays around a little bit with some of the stories. That's fairly common. Like, in the Bible, there's nothing mentioned about Moses and Ramses being brothers, but that's kind of a major part of our cultural idea of the story. And another criticism given of this is that the Action Bible primarily depicts all these Middle Eastern people as Caucasian, which is, it's a problem that I definitely agree that it's a problem, but the same goes for probably just about all illustrated Bibles, especially the ones I already pointed out, and like a lot of things, racial diversity is something that we need depicted more in culture. Something I like about the new Star Wars movies is that there is more racial diversity in the new Star Wars movies, and women are given a more prominent role in the films. That's kind of like the positive thing, but with the Disney Star Wars movies, that's definitely something I see as really positive, but overall I think the original trilogy, even though not as socially responsible, I think artistically a lot better. So socially responsible is definitely an important thing, but I'm not going to let that give or take away my criteria on artistic merit. So this looks pretty cool. Yeah. Oh, wow. That's cool. So, oh wow, that's a pretty cool illustration. Yeah. But anyway, thanks for watching. I'll possibly do a video review on this, or if you're watching this after I've made the video review, you can watch the video review. It's in the description. But if you don't see the video review in the description, I have not made it yet, but hopefully you're watching this enough later that, yeah. But anyway, let's look at the end. Let me quickly look at the end. The final letters, the final days based on Revelation. Like a lot of illustrated Bibles, Revelation's just this little couple of pages, and there's a lot that could be drawn for Revelation. Ooh, a little Bible book index. But yeah. I've seen a lot of more moderate and conservative Christians reviewing this, but yeah, I think it might, as a progressive Christian, I might be able to give different insight. Something else when I was looking at the reviews of this, where I looked for reviews by atheists, and there were a few atheists who said, "Oh, I absolutely love this, and I see the Bible's an important piece of literature." So, yeah. Anyway, here we go. The Action Bible unboxing video. Thank you for watching. Shalom.